Let's cut the nonsense. The 2025 U.S. national security strategy is not subtle, it's not diplomatic, and it's definitely not friendly to weak neighbors. This document does one thing very clearly. It redraws the map of American priorities. And for the first time in decades, the Western Hemisphere is priority number one. That should terrify us. Because when Washington says Western Hemisphere first, it doesn't mean partnership. It means control. The so-called Trump corollary to the Monroe Doctrine is not about defense. It's about preeminence. No rivals, no middle powers, no freelancing. And yes, no sovereign Canada acting independently of U.S. strategic needs. Now let's answer the question everyone dances around. Is the United States serious about annexing Canada? Not tomorrow. Modern annexation doesn't look like 1812. It looks like economic absorption. Defense dependency, energy capture, policy convergence so deep, sovereignty becomes ceremonial. Canada already relies on the U.S. for continental defense through NORA, exports over 70% of its goods to one country, the United States. Tech policy and security posture with Washington. Has zero independent leverage in AI semiconductors or critical minerals without U.S. approval. That's not a partner. That's a managed territory. The NSS makes this explicit. Outside powers, China especially, are to be denied influence in the Americas. Canada's trade flirtations with China, its financial openness, its pension fund exposure, all of that is now viewed in Washington as a security liability. And here's the brutal truth. If Canada cannot control its borders, its economy, or its strategic assets, the U.S. will. Which brings us to Mark Carney. Is Carney doing enough to prevent this? Short answer, no. And worse, he may be accelerating. Carney is the perfect global technocrat for Davos, not for a predatory geopolitical environment. His worldview is post-national. The NSS is aggressively nationalist. Carney talks about climate governance, global finance coordination, managed decline of legacy industries. Washington talks about energy dominance, industrialization, strategic resource control. These are not compatible visions. Canada under Carney, or anyone like him, does not project strength. It projects compliance. And in geopolitics, compliance invites pressure. Now let's go where Canadians refuse to go. What if Canada became the 51st state? Pros first. Because yes, there are some. Canada would gain guaranteed U.S. security umbrella without pretense, full access to American capital markets and industrial policy, massive infrastructure investment, lower defense costs per capita, direct participation in U.S. tech, AI, and defense ecosystems. For Canadian corporations and elites, it would be a gold rush. But now the real cost. Canada would lose control over immigration policy, control over healthcare and social spending, control over language, culture, and legal identity. It'd control over natural resources, oil, gas, water, minerals. Any illusion of moral superiority or middle power diplomacy, Quebec, fragmented. Indigenous governance, federalized and litigated into irrelevance. Healthcare, marketized. Foreign policy, gone. Canada wouldn't become America's equal. It would become America's resource hinterland with voting rights. Let's be clear. The U.S. doesn't need Canada's people. It needs Canada's land, water, energy, and minerals, especially in an age of AI, electrification, and Arctic competition. So what's the real future? Not annexation. Integration without consent? It will be absorbed, unless it radically changes course. That means real border control, independent industrial strategy, strategic distance from both Washington and Beijing, and leaders who understand power, not spreadsheets. Right now, Canada has none of that. And the 2025 NSS makes one thing painfully clear. America First leaves very little room for a weak, apologetic neighbor. This is the third eye. We don't sell comfort, we expose reality. If this episode made you uncomfortable, good. Like the episode, follow the channel, share it before it gets buried. Because the truth only spreads when people are brave enough to pass it on.